Hello everyone, Octopus here, founder of the Ersatz. Today with you doing a devlog um, of the Ersatz protocol. If you've been following the Ersatz closely a little bit, then you probably know that I have been developing a new stablecoin protocol, basically to replace the stab protocol. And I've come up to a point in the development where I think it's time to develop in public. So that's why I'm doing these devlogs, to iterate on the protocol with you guys, get feedback, and it's never a bad idea to develop in public, exposure wise as well. So I think this is going to be nice, but maybe it's not going to be, and then this will be the last devlog that I ever do. So first, maybe small reasoning for why I'm building the Ersatz protocol. Why not carry on with the stab protocol? That is a protocol that we currently have deployed on Radix mainnet with the Ersatz governing it, to enable the stab, the stablecoin on Radix. Why not just continue with that? Simple reason really is that I was not really satisfied with the performance of the stab protocol. It's safe and it works, but the user experience is not top notch. However, it has taught me a lot. It's a very good protocol, prototype I mean. So why not just iterate on it and make a top notch stablecoin protocol just before Radix steps into the limelight and grows as big as we all hope it will be. So that's what I've been doing. I have been building the Ersatz protocol, and I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out. I think. So today I'll just be walking you through the protocol, explaining how it works, and then afterwards I will also compare it to the stab protocol and tell you why the Ersatz protocol is better. I'm going to do this in one take, so it's probably not as structured as I would hope it to be, but I think still these devlogs are a very easy format for me to get across to you what I've been working on without writing lengthy documentation that is subject to change anyways, because this protocol is ever changing at the moment. So feedback on the format is also appreciated, but let's just get on with it. The Ersatz protocol. How does it work? First of all, it's good to know that the Ersatz protocol, same as the stab protocol, is a CDP based protocol. What this means is collateralized deposition is that you put some collateral into the protocol to take out a loan that is worth less than the collateral that you've put in. So you need to take out an over collateralized loan, so to speak. Let's just give a quick example of this. For instance, I have a lot of LSULP available, and I can put 20,000 LSULP into the protocol, which is worth $235. Then I can take out a loan of maximum 50% of this collateral's value. This is shown by this max LTV figure. It's different for it can be different for multiple kind of collaterals. Really depends on the risk that the collateral poses to the system. But for LSULP in StokeNet, the max LTV is 50%. So this means I can take out like maximum loan of 115 or so EUSD. But let's take out a little bit safer of a loan. Let's take out a loan of 50 EUSD. So you can see that the collateral is always is worth more than the EUSD that I want to borrow here, and that's a good thing because it ensures that these EUSD, so the stable coins that we are trying to mint here, are always fully backed. To ensure that all loans always remain fully backed, there is a system, a liquidation system in place, which you might know from other DeFi protocols such as Aave, Root, Weft, MakerDAO, stablecoin protocol, whatever DeFi protocol that also uses CDPs. And liquidations mean that if your collateral value falls so low that your loan to value, so your LTV, drops below or goes above the max LTV value. So imagine LSU LP price goes to half a cent, then that would happen. You can be liquidated, or you are liquidated actually. What this means is that someone will pay off your debt, and in return they will receive a big part of your collateral that's worth more than your debt. So it's not good for you if that happens, but it does ensure that people are incentivized to keep all loans over collateralized. If you stay under this max LTV with your loan, then this can never happen, so don't be afraid, and nobody can just take your collateral. But this ensures that all loans are always over collateralized. If you for any reason want your collateral back, you can always, of course, pay off your loan and get your collateral back. So imagine you had borrowed this 50 EUSD, you can go back to the protocol and give it 50 EUSD in return for your collateral. One other reason why you might not be able to get back your collateral is if you've been redeemed. So that's the next thing I will explain to you, how redemptions work. Redemptions are a system in place to ensure that EUSD always has a minimum value of around $1. So it's used to keep the lower peg of the stablecoin. How it works is that if you have 1 EUSD, you can always come to the Ersatz protocol and tell the Ersatz protocol, okay, I have 1 EUSD, but I don't trust you that it's worth $1. Can I exchange it in return for $1 in collateral? And then the protocol says, yes, okay, here you go, you have $1 in collateral, but I will take your EUSD. So this basically ensures that EUSD is always worth $1. However, this collateral obviously needs to come from somewhere, and how this works is that every loan can choose their own interest rate. However, the lowest interest rate loans are chosen for these redemptions first. So imagine you have the lowest interest rate loan, so let's say 2.3% APR, and someone comes to the protocol and tells it, I want to exchange my EUSD for collateral. Then your loan will be used to do this redemption, and what happens is they pay off your debt with this EUSD that is being exchanged in return for your collateral of equal value of the debt that's being paid off. So this is not a net loss for you. However, you do lose your exposure to the collateral that you put into the protocol, and your exposure to EUSD increases. So usually if you take out such a loan of EUSD, you use it to leverage some position, and that leverage then falls away. So it's not very fun to be redeemed. However, it's obviously not the end of the world. And also you can pick an interest rate that is pretty high. So let's say I pick an interest rate of 23.5% to prevent being redeemed. So let's just show you a whole loan, a whole borrowing interaction, and how it goes in practice. I've already filled in that I want to put 20,000 LSU LP into the protocol, and I want to borrow 50 EUSD. Well, that sounds good. It says low liquidation risk. Very happy about that. Next, I can pick a interest rate. Currently it's on 23.5%, and I can see how much interest that will be per year, and I can also see how much EUSD is there to be redeemed before me. So at the moment it says low redemption risk because there's around 1800 EUSD that's being borrowed with LSU LP that has a lower interest rate. So all these loans will be redeemed before you will be redeemed. Well, that's good if you don't like being redeemed. You could also opt for a lower interest rate, and then you will see the redeemable before you amount changing. For instance, 4.8, you would be the loan with the lowest interest rate that is in the protocol. Let's just go for 4.8 because maybe we don't believe that anybody will even attempt a redemption, and then I obviously want an interest rate as low as possible. So yeah, let's get this loan, show you how it works. If you click the next button, you will be presented with a small summary that tells you how this loan will look like. An additional thing is this borrow fee that I haven't explained yet. If you take out a loan, you will have to pay 1 week of interest in advance. The exact amount of days of interest you have to pay in advance are still up for debate. Please give me some suggestions. However, the reason for this being is that I don't want to start a race, or I don't want the race to start of people closing their loans and taking out a new loan to just one up the lowest interest rate and go just above the lowest interest rate, so you cannot be redeemed, and then the lowest interest rate will also close their loan and open a new loan just above the interest rate that just been opened, and you will get like a whole snowball effect, and that's probably not a good idea. The same fee also applies for changing one's interest rate on an already existing loan. However, if you've not changed your interest rate for a week, you don't have to pay this fee. So this fee is basically in place to disincentivize changing one's interest rate constantly, and to keep the interest rates at least a little bit stable, so the person that takes out a loan knows what to expect. The protocol doesn't change overnight. So if we agree with these terms, we can press confirm borrow. Let's do that. You can see it takes a while for it to arrive in my wallet. Let's close the wallet. Yeah, it does take a while because I'm using a pool oracle, so before the transaction can actually be submitted to the network, I need to first fetch the price of LSULP with this oracle. But now it's been fetched, we can see the transaction, we put in 20,000 LSULP and we get out 50 USD. That seems fine to me actually. Why is there no fee payer? Well, I don't have any XRD. Okay, well that's fine. I'll just select an account there where I do have XRD. But this seems fine to me, and we can confirm this borrow. And let's see if it wants to go through. I would hope so. And it went through. Not yet on the front end, but it did go through here. And now it went through on the front end as well. Okay, now we opened our first loan and we borrowed 50 EUSD. That's amazing. Let's go to the dashboard now. And here we can see that we have a new loan position. We can see some information about it, and we can alter this loan if we want to. So I will just show you, because why not? So you click the little edit button, you get presented with some information about your loan, and if we now want to, we think maybe our LTV is getting a little bit too high for comfort, we can deposit some LSURP into the loan, and maybe we can repay part of our debt as well while we're at it. We'll see a small summary of how our loan changes. and we can click the change loan to actually apply these changes. Pops up in the wallet nicely. I don't have XRD again, so let's select a fee payer, and we can sign this transaction, and the loan has now been signed, or has been changed. Let me request some XRD so I can actually pay the fees next time. Yeah, that's done. Apart from changing the collateral and that of our loan, we can also maybe change the interest rate. While we have the lowest interest rate loan anyways, why not pick 0. Oh, I see I cannot pick 0. It's an issue with the front end. Why not pick 0.2%? So let's try to change our interest rate. Yep, transaction goes through. This time I can pay the fee. Sign it, and it's been signed. Okay, so you can see it's pretty easy to change these interest rates and change these loans. I have just done so. Another tab here is for closing the loan. If I would pay back the 45.05 EUSD I now owe the protocol, I could reclaim my collateral. Let's not do this because I still want this loan, but it's fairly simple. Just click the button. Yeah, okay, so now I've shown you how to open a loan, do some changes to it. Yeah, that's basically it for that. Another part of the protocol are the protocol's stability pools. So you have seen that I picked an interest rate. What this means is that your debt will increase and the protocol will accrue EUSD fees in this interest rate. So we need to distribute this interest rate somehow, or we could all keep it for the protocol, but we are not doing this because the protocol utilizes stability pools. So what these stability pools are essentially pools which you can put some EUSD in, and this EUSD is then used to execute liquidations with. So if there is, for instance, 200 EUSD in the XRD stability pool, liquidations of 200 EUSD value can be executed, can be performed. The collateral resulting from these liquidations is put into the stability pool and can be bought up again by other people for a small discount in order to make sure that these stability pools will always, or almost always, consist of only EUSD. So these stability pools are a good way to utilize your EUSD if you want to hold it. And now we actually get to the point that I was trying to make. A huge chunk of the interest that is gained by these loans, these open loans, is put into the stability pools. So these stability pools are a good way to use your EUSD, put them there, and accrue yield on your EUSD. It's very similar to how liquidity works. I think it's a pretty elegant solution. Basically some kind of savings account for your EUSD. So let's just try it out, because why not? We can put 10 EUSD into this stability pool, and our USD will then start accruing interest because of the interest on XRD loans, or USD loans backed by XRD. So yeah, we can see we can put in 10 EUSD and we'll get out some pool token that is worth 10 EUSD. Okay. Did. I don't know why it doesn't have a logo. It should have a logo, but apparently it's not working. However, now we are proud um, proud owners of some stability pool tokens, and we can see that we have 10 USD worth of stability pool tokens in this pool, and our pool share is around 3%. Seems good to me, and yeah, we're putting our USD to work. If we want to now take out this XRD USD, so stability pool tokens, we can also do this. So I'll just show you. You can take them out and we'll get our USD back. So let's do that. And we took them out. Alright, so these are the stability pools. They basically function as the line of the first line of defense to make sure that all loans in the protocol remain over collateralized. Yeah. What to show you next? Right, yeah, I think this is the main protocol, so if you just wanted to see how the protocol worked, then you've probably seen enough here. But I will go a little bit further in depth and show you what happens if you get liquidated. Oh, this is ugly. I see I need to change this. For instance, I have already opened a loan here that is a little bit too the collateral is worth too little. LTV is a bit too high. It's above the max LTV. I have done so before starting this recording. So let's show you what happens if we liquidate it. So this is not possible on the front end. It will be done by bots. So I will just show you through instruct. Let me see. Yeah, so this loan number 10, and it has a debt of around 90.5 EUSD. So let's withdraw 95 EUSD. Now I need to use the price oracle to get a price message and a signature. This is to make the pool oracle work, basically. Oh, I don't need this actually. Can just. Why did I do this? Can just get the. Oh, I know why I did this. For the next thing I want to show you. Okay, let's do this again. Let's disable these. Yeah, okay, so let's liquidate it. It will use the funds from the stability pool. Let's wait for the transaction to be confirmed. Takes a while. Okay, transaction has been confirmed. Stability pool has liquidated this LSU-LP loan, and we can refresh and see that we've been liquidated. This is also ugly, I see. Need to change that as well. So now we can also even see that the pool size here has increased because it has the LSU-LP EUSD pool has benefited from the liquidation fee. So we can now click this and close this loan to retrieve the collateral that has been left over after this liquidation. So let's just do that, show you how it works. Okay, well, we've now done that, and we have back our USD, so that's great. Okay, I see I now need to return to the dashboard. Need to change that a little bit still, but it works. Yeah, wait, I don't need this console anymore. Okay, so that's liquidation. Maybe all that's left for you now is to show you redemption. So imagine I come to the protocol with 20 USD and I say, oh, I want to exchange this against collateral. How would this work? So could I just pick whether I want XRD or whether I want LSU-LP as collateral? The answer is no. Why is the answer no? Because it wouldn't really be fair. Imagine someone wants to prop up the price and not get liquidated on this, or not get redeemed on the LSU-LP loan where they have the lowest interest rate. They could just pick to redeem against XRD when it's whenever it's financially sound decision, and make it basically impossible to receive profit from redeeming against LSU-LP. So there's a system in place that assesses the risk that these collaterals pose to the protocol and redeems accordingly. So how does it work? First of all, it looks at I will show you this on Paint. First of all, it looks at the amount of the collaterals that is used, or the amount of debt that is used, or that is minted against these collaterals. So let's say total debt. Let's say there's around, let's just use the real figures. Maybe a bit too difficult actually. Let's say there's around 900, not 900. Let's say there's around 400 of total debt that is being that XRD is backing, and let's say stability pool. Let's say there is $200 of USD in the stability pool. That means that there's an outside debt of 200 USD. So 200 USD is being borrowed using XRD, but is nowhere to be found. It's not in a stability pool. So this is basically the risk, or the capital at risk here. And we can do a similar calculation for LSU-LP. So let's say the total debt there is 500 USD, and there is 100 inside of the stability pool. The outside debt is 400 USD, so it's a bit of a bigger risk. Then we can check basically the distribution of these risks, or which risk is bigger, by using these as weights. So let's say that the total outside debt is now 600, and the XRD part is 200 divided by 600 of this, and the LSU-LP part is 400 over 600. So let's say I want to redeem 15 EUSD. How will this redemption be split over collaterals? Is we use these weights, or these division of risk basically. We can see that XRD has 2/3 of the risk, so we will split this into 2/3, and we will redeem oh, this is 1/3, I'm an idiot. We will redeem 5 EUSD in return for XRD, and we will redeem 2/3, because this is 2/3. We will redeem 2/3, so 10 EUSD in return for LSU-LP. So that's how this automatic split of redemption works, and it just goes automatically, and the user cannot choose to circumvent it. So it's a fair way to do these redemptions. And let's just do one in practice now. Don't save this, it's an awful drawing. Let's first see, do some calculation in our head, so we can see what to expect. We see that the total debt here is $340 around, and the pool size is around $320. So that means an outside debt of 20. For LSU LP, 3,000 against 1,800 means an outside debt of $1,200. So we can see that the outside debt for LSU LP is way larger. So we expect to receive a lot of LSU LP if we do redemption here, and well, maybe a tiny bit of XRD. So let's try. So I've already also built this transaction here. Enable these. How much do we want to redeem? Let's say 20. Why not? And we need to put in some info here. Let me do the magic oracle trick again. Okay, so this will also be done by bot, so you don't need to do this yourself, and maybe I will build a small front end to be able to do this. However, it's not really necessary for the protocol to function, to be able to use the protocol. So let's do these redemptions. What did I do wrong? There I am again. I figured out what was going wrong. I looked at it for a bit too long, to be honest, but I was doing more redemptions than there are even loans inside of the protocol, so this time it should work fine. I put the max redemptions on 5, and we can see that indeed we are only liquidating a tiny bit of XRD, and we are redeeming a tiny bit of XRD, and we are getting a little bit of LSU LP. Let's hope I signed this quickly enough, because the price message cannot be too old, then it won't work. But you can see that we did a redemption, and we got our XRD, and we got our LSU LP in return for some ESD. So that worked fine. We can probably, if I refresh this page now, see that this will be redeemed. And yes, the loan that we had just made is now redeemed. That's great. We can even close the loan. So let's do that. And it's closed, and we can reclaim our LSU LP this way. Alright, now I've shown you liquidations and redemptions. Basically everything that you need to know about the protocol you now know. So it might be time for a small comparison. Ersatz protocol versus that protocol. Why this new protocol, and why is it better? So first of all, oh, I see. You can now see how late it is on my screen. Let's remove this window capture, and yeah, okay, so now we won't be distracted by my phone screen. So why is the Ersatz protocol better? First of all, EUSD is a one-to-one USD pegged stable. Compare this to STAB, which was variable in price. This sounds nice in theory, but it's not so convenient if you want to provide it as liquidity or LP with it against something that's pegged to USD. So imagine you want to LP STAB against XUSDC, then you're going to have to move your liquidity all the time, and it's not very useful, and there will even be some impermanent loss. So one-to-one pegged assets are way easier to use in liquidity provision. It's also way more convenient for people. I mean, it's intuitive that a stable is pegged to $1. So I think where variable price stable was kind of a neat idea, it didn't really work in practice. this will work in practice. Secondly, the Ersatz protocol uses a pull oracle instead of a push oracle. This is not necessarily improvement in the Ersatz protocol that would not have been possible in the stab protocol, but I hadn't made it, or I hadn't really enabled pull oracles in the stab protocol, and to have them already in the Ersatz protocol is pretty neat. What this also allows is a tighter peg, because we can set redemptions to be very close to 100%, to receive very close to 100% of the paid off debt value in collateral, which will make the peg stay at around 99 cents or so. Stab has a little bit much of a wider peg, which is not as nice, obviously. Also, the pull oracle is just generally safer. You use very recent price information, and you cannot just use some old price information because it suits you if you choose to not update the price of the protocol or of a collateral in the protocol. So that's good. Thirdly, stability pools are just pretty neat inventions to improve the safety of the protocol. You immediately have some EUSD, so stable, available to liquidate positions that are in danger of being under collateralized. So this is good safety wise, and also these stability pools, they serve as a way to basically split into two the uses of the protocol, of the stable. There are people that want to hold the stable and receive yield. They can use the stability pool as a savings account, but there are also people that want to use the token to transact with and to keep for it to keep a constant value, and they just don't have the USD in the stability pool, and they use it to provide liquidity or transact. So this is a good split between these two uses, I think. Yes. Yeah, fourth point. The redemptions are actually fair because of the split in the division of how much is being redeemed against which collateral that I've just shown you with the outside debt calculation. So that's good. And lastly, choosing your own interest rate is just a very neat way of handling the cost of providing stability, basically. With the stab protocol, I used to handle this using a control system, or with control theory, and the interest rate was also changing if the market was inactive, so if people weren't really engaging with the protocol. In this way, the protocol and the interest rates can react immediately to change in the market, because people can just change up their interest. However, if people aren't doing anything, the protocol will stay constant. So this is just a way for the market to regulate itself immediately instead of using some kind of controller for that. You could see with the stab protocol this kind of spirals out of control if nobody is using the protocol, and it really requires an active market, which I'm not sure if you can ever get as active as you would need it to be. On Ethereum you see it working with Rise, so I think it could work. However, obviously on Radix it's not enough interest in these kind of protocols yet for it to work. So I think this is a very, very neat solution, and it will forever work. Might even be a better solution than a control, some kind of PID controller or a control theory solution, because the market is able to respond instantly. People can just change up the interest rate instantly. You don't have to wait for some kind of controller to modify the interest down over time because it sees some deviation from the target value. So yeah, those are some improvements, I think. I hope I didn't forget anything. Lastly, it's just my call for feedback. Start using this tab. I will put it in the description, and I will advertise it in the Telegram channels. You can just start using it from now on. Try to break it. I'm sure it will. The thing is, these smart contracts have not been tested at all. Only manually tested by me trying them out. I will be writing tests, obviously. We need to audit these things, at least internally. So just try to break it, give me feedback. Can be on anything, the feedback. And I hope you enjoyed this kind of video. It's been running a bit long, I think, but I hope you can forgive me about that. Well, that's it from my side. I hope to see you guys in the Ersatz Telegram. This is where the big boys hang out, the talking happens and the discussing happens. So yeah, hope to see you there. Have a nice day.